So let's get the ball rolling with Professor Indi Karunatilaka, Secretary General of the Asia Pacific Academic Consortium for Public Health. Your time starts now.
Thank you, Shamil. So yes, and we are discussing a very important topic and a very timely one as well. So I would say that health system is in crisis at the moment, and it's due to many reasons. And if you see the most immediate or most visible areas that will be most visible and would be mostly affecting the people, one is the availability of medicinal drugs, other one is the availability of health professionals, doctors, nurses and the health professionals. If you take those two areas, what patients or the citizens of the country see is there are issues. They may not understand the deeper issues, but definitely they can see there are issues related to medicinal drugs availability, prices. At the same time, there are issues related to availability of health professions, and a lot of health professionals and doctors are migrating. So outwardly also you can see there are serious issues. And if you look deep down, the crisis is actually very deep rooted. And probably the reasons that has led to this crisis are the same reasons that has led to the crisis in the country. Basically, the corruption and nepotism, chronism, and similarly mismanagement. The same areas. So when you really study the current health system problem, you can see all these issues. You can see corruption, you can see lack of efficiency, you can see mismanagement, you can see favoritism, you can even say nepotism. So all these areas can be identified. And other thing that we can identify is it happens at all levels. So you cannot pinpoint this to one area, one section, or even one person. It happens at all levels, top to bottom, at all situations. So there is a crisis, and if you go into a little bit deeper, especially in the main two areas that I have mentioned, now if you take the medicinal drugs, again the reasons for crisis is multifactorial. There are many reasons. Human resource problem, again the reasons are multifactorial. But this problem point out to rather serious indication that the system has failed. Why I am telling system has failed is generally in health system or any system there are multiple checks and balances to make sure that even if something goes wrong, still there are other places or other checks and balances so that the damage is minimized. For example, if you take say the importation of drugs, there are several steps that has to be followed. So even if one step fails, still there are checks and balances. So when there are problems in these checks and balances, or when these checks and balances are removed for manipulation or due to ulterior motives, that is where the system collapses. So that is what we see. That is what we see in the drug issue or the medicinal drug issue.
Right.
And if you take the human resources, a huge issue, again multifactorial, but at the moment what we see is large number of health professionals, doctors and others are leaving the country. I would say it's more than just leaving the country, it's basically the situation has forced them to leave. So that has also put the health system into crisis. So I think we need to focus in all these areas to identify the current situation, the current crisis in detail.
Thank you very much, Professor Indi Karunatilaka, Secretary General of the Asia Pacific Academic Consortium for Public Health.